Hello everyone, thank you so much for attending the class this evening on November 2nd. It is so great to see you all. Namaste everyone, and peace and blessings. This is Sister Moon. I would like to thank you all for joining me this evening in our Headstand Prep Yoga Flow. In this session, we're going to do some strengthening poses and techniques that will likely prepare our mind and our bodies for headstand. If at any time, if any of these poses feel uncomfortable for you, may you please do something else. May you please modify the pose and do something that's more suitable for your body, not as hard. Again, yoga is a process, and there may be some things that I say that I request, and your body is not there, or maybe your body is beyond what I'm saying, what I'm requesting. If that is the case, feel free to flow and do what your body tells you to do. I am Sister Moon, and I am just a guide, guiding you through this headstand prep yoga flow. Peace and blessings, and I thank you once again for joining me today. Let's go inward. May we find ourselves in a comfortable seated position, or a lying position, laying down if you choose, as we use the next minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, to simply meditate and go inward. Our theme for this class is headstand prep. May we focus on that in the next minute and a half. Advancing our bodies, advancing our minds to new levels. Again, this is a headstand prep class, so anyone who's sitting and watching will most likely looking for tips for headstand, taking our bodies and our mind to new levels. Let us go inward if we choose and focus on the theme for today. Peace and blessings. Going inward, finding comfort, finding peace, finding ways to relax, finding ways to take our mind and our bodies to new levels. May we meditate on ways, maybe critique on ways. May we find our way. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to a new you as we advance. Going inward. I hope everyone is feeling nice and relaxed. Again, I hope everyone is feeling nice and relaxed. or I hope everyone is getting to a nice, relaxing feeling, position as we start our session here today. If you are lying down, I ask if you may please return your body to a seated position. Simply sitting on a mat, nice and easy. Getting comfortable, finding your comfortable position on your mat as we sit, as we go inward. At any time, may we wiggle our toes and wiggle our shoulders and wiggle our fingers as we get down to our session. I'm going to take off my blanket and place it on a side, and I'm going to simply move my shoulders backwards. I'm taking off the blanket so you guys can see what I am doing with my body. And what I'm doing now is I'm sitting, I'm relaxing. My hands are on the floor, and I'm going to bring my hands to my knees, both of my hands on my knees. And I'm going to lift my shoulders up to my ears, backwards flowing, and lift them down. Lifting my shoulders up to my ears, backwards flowing, lifting them down. Let's do a couple more shoulder lifts, rolling our shoulders to the back. Nice and easy, at our own pace. Simply filling our bodies. And if I may suggest, if we are moving fast with our shoulder rotation, may we please slow it up. What we're trying to do is we're trying to relax and calm the body. Relaxing and calming the mind with slow motions, with slow rotations as we come to still. Shoulders are still. We're checking in with our bodies. And if all feels well, we will move our shoulders forward to the front. Shoulders up to the ears, moving forward. Shoulders up to the ears, moving forward. Nice and easy. Simply feeling your body. Checking in with your body. Seeing how you feel. And if you may, slightly place your hands on the floor beside you. Nice and easy. Checking in with self. As we slowly bring our hands to our sides, palms upwards, palms up in the air. Both of our hands are on our right and our left sides. Palms up in the air as we slowly bring our hands up in the air to a seated salute. Nice and slow, hands up in the air and a seated salute. And if you may, tuck your tummy in, keeping your tummy nice and tight as we sit in our seated salute. We can look forward or we can gaze upwards at our hands, or we can gaze downward, wherever you feel comfortable within your body as we sit in our seated salute. And on our next breath, may we bring our hands down, palms in front of our chest, keeping our palms together to seated prayer. Nice and easy. Thanking ourselves for allowing ourselves to take some time to go inward for ourselves. For taking some time to learn something new in our Headstand prep session here today. For self-care is a necessity. And on your next breath, may we find ourselves in tabletop. Whatever way you choose to get in your tabletop, may we position ourselves into a tabletop position. Nice and easy, flowing from our seated prayer to our tabletop position. I'm gonna slightly go to the side so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hands flat on the floor, palms down, leveled with your shoulders, checking in with self in our table position. If all feels well, may we do a couple of cat-cows. Simply moving our bodies to the motion of our cat-cow. And what we're doing in our cat-cows is we're loosening and warming up our bodies, preparing our bodies for headstand prep. So we're going to do a couple of cat-cows, following our breaths, following our intuition, going with the pace of our own bodies. In our cat-cow, again going with the pace of our own bodies in our cat-cow. Maybe do 2 more cat-cows before we find ourselves back to neutral. Finding ourselves back to neutral, may we slightly come to our knees and slightly come up, checking in with ourselves. Rotating our shoulders if we choose, as we are in our kneel position. And if we choose, we're going to do a slight back bend, going into camel pose. Simply taking our right hand and placing it on our right heel of our foot, and taking our left hand and placing it on the left heel of our foot. Allowing our heads to go back. This is a slight back bend, relaxing our bodies for headstand prep. And on our next breath, we'll come out of this pose. Woo. Not that fast, nice and easy coming out of that pose, trying to control the pose. And if all feels well, we'll find ourselves back in tabletop position, in tabletop pose, checking in with our bodies. Maybe we'll do a spinal wave to counter that camel pose that we just did. So spinal wave is we're simply moving our bodies in any way you choose. You may want to move your body from side to side in your spinal wave, your spinal twist, or you may want to do a forward and back spinal wave. Warming up our bodies, warming up our minds for our headstand prep as we do our spinal wave. Breathing in and breathing out. Simply feeling the wave as we come to center, as we come to neutral. Relaxing our hands, relaxing our feet. Breathing in and breathing out. And on the next breath, may we go down to plank pose. Simply placing our forearms down to the floor, nice and easy. Make sure you guys can see my forearms. Okay, so forearms are placed down to the floor, keeping your tummy nice and tight and stretching our bodies out. Feet goes to the back of the mat. Hands are in front of you in our plank pose. Strengthening our forearms for our headstand, because when we are up in the headstand, it is our forearms that's keeping us up in the air. Again, it is our forearm strength that helps us balance when we are up in headstand. So we're going to do our plank on our forearms. and rock front and back. You'll see your buttocks going up in the air, then you see your buttocks coming down close to the mat. Buttocks back up in the air, buttocks back down to the mat. Let's do a couple of these. Strengthening and conditioning our forearms. Headstand prep underway. Breathing in and breathing out. And on your next breath, may we find ourselves in child's pose. Simply coming on our knees, relaxing our bodies, relaxing what we just did in our child's pose. Nice and easy. Your buttocks goes backwards towards the heels of your feet in child's pose. Nice and easy. Feeling your body relax. Feeling your mind relax in child's pose. Maybe you want to let your forehead touch the mat and go completely inward. Maybe you want to go in puppy pose. Sometimes the child's pose can be hard for some people on the knees. Puppy pose is when we come inward slightly. We bring our knees a little bit more closer to each other and we untuck our toes. Because in child's pose, our feet are tucked. As we can see, tucked feet. In puppy pose, we're kind of up on our heels a little bit because puppy pose is a little bit more higher with our buttocks. And then we find ourselves going again, buttocks to our heels. There we go. See that there? But we are higher in the air. We're not as down to the ground and hurting our knees as we are in a child's pose. So we can always do a variation of child's pose or puppy pose. Again, listening to your body and doing what feels best for you. So let's check out a puppy pose real quick. Nice and easy. I'm going to relax downward in my puppy pose. Feeling my body in my puppy pose as I come down back to child's pose so we can see the difference. Now this is child's pose, untucking my toes, and now I'm lower to the mat. And now I'm spreading my legs just a tad bit so I can go down more closer to the earth in my child's pose. So that is child's pose, and this is puppy pose. Coming up, bringing my knees kind of closer together, untucking my toes, and finding myself in puppy pose. Now, from this pose, we're going to go into a har pose, H-A-R pose, H-A-R-E, har pose. And what the har pose is we're going to come up on our hands. See that there? Our hands were just in front of us. We're going to bring our hands closer to our bodies, closer to our knees, and slightly push ourselves up, finding ourselves back in a tabletop position. Maybe we'll slightly spread our knees apart just a little to position our bodies and feel how we feel within our bodies. Some people may keep their legs closer together, whatever feels right for you. Again, the practice is for you. I am just a guide. In our hard pose, we're gonna come on down, hands on the mat. We're gonna untuck our toes. Again, this is our toes being tucked in. We're going to untuck our toes. That way we're kind of on our toes like a ballerina. And we're going to position our body, making sure we feel good. And if all feels good, we're gonna find ourselves in hard pose. And hard pose is when we are on the top of our head, right here on the crown of your head, kind of where the baby's soft spot is on their head. That's where we want to try to go to in our hard pose. This hard pose is prepping our mind and our bodies for being in a headstand. So let's check it out and let's see how we feel in our hard pose. At any time, if hard pose doesn't feel comfortable for you, I invite you to go out of that hard pose and relax in a puppy pose or a child's pose. So let's give it a try. Now, you probably noticed when I went to my hard pose, I instantly went up on my legs and was kind of like in a forward fold on my head. That was instant because that's what I normally do. But when we are learning hard pose, we're not going to come directly up on our legs and be in a forward fold / hard pose. We're going to stay down kind of in our child's pose. And we're just going to slightly be on our head. And when we're on our head, may we slightly walk our knees closer to our hands as much as we can comfortably, if you're able. Let's give it a try again. Hard pose. See that there? So we're in hard pose. I am on the top of my head at my comfort level. I'm gonna walk my feet closer to me if I choose, or I'm gonna keep them back. Whatever feels good for you. Simply checking in. And at any time, simply checking in. And at any time, if you want to come out of your hard pose, please come out of your hard pose. I'm going to go back down to hard. If all feels good in that hard pose, and you don't feel any strain on your head, on your neck, on your back, I now invite you to lift your legs and lift your knees off the floor and find yourself kind of like in a wide-legged forward fold, or find yourself in a complete forward fold. Let's do the complete forward fold in our hard pose. So we're going to go back down to our hard pose, but this time we're going to lift our legs off the floor and we're going to be in a complete forward fold / hard pose. Let's give it a try if we're able. Nice and easy. And if you can see my feet, what I'm doing here is I'm lifting my feet up in the air, nice and easy, simply coming higher on the top of my head. Feeling how I feel. Now technically this is a headstand. As you can see, this here is a headstand. Once we put our legs up in the air, that's just a fancy headstand. But this is a complete headstand. If you're able to get into this forward fold, hard pose type position right here, this is how you feel in your headstand. So if you can sustain this for a couple seconds, you will do fine in a tripod headstand or any other headstand that your body decides to go to. Okay, so let's come on back out of here. Breathing in, catching that breath, coming back down to child's pose if you choose. Simply relaxing your back, relaxing your mind, relaxing the top of your head, and coming on down to child's pose or puppy pose. And maybe we'll wiggle our body from side to side if we choose to do so. Simply feeling how we feel. Nice and relaxed. And at any time, if you need to come out of any pose, again, I invite you to do whatever you feel as though your body needs for you to do. Now we're going to do the hard pose one more time before we move on to the next pose. So hard pose, again, we're bringing our hands in from our child's pose. Coming up kind of in our tabletop position, untucking our toes, allowing our head to go forward down, and we are going to be on the top of our head in our hard pose, nice and easy. Checking in with you and seeing how you feel. While you are in your hard pose, if you choose to come up on your feet, get comfortable on your head, listen to your body, and if you feel comfortable up on your head, slowly place your hands, again, make sure your hands are nice and flat on the floor, and simply untuck your toes and lift yourself up off the floor. See that there? And if you want to come up on your tippy toes when you're up on the floor, that's a complete headstand. We can keep our feet slightly halfway down on the floor. Our hands are going to stay flat on the floor, of course. And if we want to come up a little bit higher in this headstand prep pose, we can come up on our tippy toes. See that? We feel and we look higher. Our buttocks goes higher in the air. Now we're off our tippy toes. See that there? Now we're up on our tippy toes. This is a nice prep. If you want to feel the headstand more, you can spread your legs apart just slightly because we want to create balance here. Again, spread your legs slightly apart to create balance. Tucking your tummy nice and tight. And maybe closing your eyes slightly, because we don't want to burst any blood vessels inside of our eyes. So slightly close your eyes if you feel comfortable. You don't have to. And come off. Hands to the side. See that there? Hands to the side. This is how we'll feel in our headstand. This is the pressure that we'll feel when we are in our headstand. See that there? If you can sustain this, a headstand will be fine for you. Maybe you want to bring our hands behind our back and interlace our fingers and allowing our bodies to just feel the stretch. This is a headstand prep pose. Prepping the mind and prepping the body for how you will feel in your headstand. At any time, if you need to come out of this pose, please come out. If any time you want to put your hands back flat on the floor, I invite you to do that as well. If at any time you want to bring your feet back closer together and come on down to a basic hard pose, knees on the floor, I invite you to do that. At any time, if you feel as though you want to come back into child's pose, I invite you to do that, or puppy pose. Whatever feels good for you. There we go. Nice and easy. Breathing in and breathing out. We're going to do a hard pose again, but this time we're going to do a hard pose with a knee to elbow tap. Again, we're going to do a hard pose with a knee to elbow tap. Prepping our mind, prepping our body, prepping the top of our head for that headstand prep. Here we go. Hands flat on the floor, making sure our hands are nice and stable. Tummy is nice and tight, nicely tucked. Keeping our core nice and strong. Coming on back down, onto our hard pose, onto our head. Up on our feet this time. We are up, we are on our feet. Our knees are not touching the floor. Maybe we're going up on our tippy toes, warming up the body again. And let's make sure our hands are placed directly under our shoulders. We don't want them back here. That will not get us anywhere. We don't want them too far up. We need them under our shoulders. Tummy tight, hands flat on the floor. Checking in with your body, seeing how you feel. And maybe we'll start with our right foot, with our right knee to our right elbow. See that there? See that tap? Nice tap. Bring it back down. See that there again? Right tap, right elbow, right knee.
Let's try the left. Left elbow, left knee. Bring it back down. Left elbow, left knee. Bring it back down. Now let's try a couple taps. Right tap. Left tap. Right tap. Left tap. Right tap. Left tap. Let's come to center. Maybe we'll take a break. Coming on down to our knees, we'll find ourselves in basic car. Using our hands to push ourselves up, we'll find ourselves back in tabletop. See that there? We're going to do some more knee to elbow taps. But before we do that, let's take a quick break and let's do a thread to needle. Since we are already in our tabletop position, maybe we'll take our left hand and thread it underneath our right arm. Feel in the stretch in our thread pose. And when we're coming down, we'll allow our left shoulder to slightly come down to the mat. See that there? As our head slightly comes down to the mat as well. This is a nice stretch pose and it's also a nice resting pose. Allowing your head to rest comfortably on the floor as much as you can. Positioning yourself to become comfortable, whichever you need to do. Always position yourself to feel comfortable. Thread the needle. And if you want to go deeper in the stretch, you can take your right hand, lift it up in the air, and wrap it around your back. Once again, positioning yourself in any position you need to do when you're down here in this pose to feel comfortable. Always reposition yourself to your body. We all have different bodies and we all will need different repositioning techniques, and we will all have different repositionings when we're in any pose. So listen to your body. Here we go. And on the next breath, we'll come out of the pose, simply unwrapping our arm, allowing our right arm to come flat on the floor. See that? Flat on the floor. Using our right arm to push us up. Push, push, push. Unthreading our arm. Nice and easy. Both of our arms are flat on the floor. Now we'll take our right arm and thread it through our left. Again, our right arm and thread it through our left. Nice and easy. Feeling the twist in our bodies. Feeling the relaxation in our bodies. Again, we're going to allow our bodies to go downward to the ground. Our right shoulder will touch the yoga mat, and our right side of our head will touch the yoga mat as we relax downward into the earth. Nice and easy. And again, if you want to take your left arm, and wrap it around and feel the stretch, you can do that. Or if you want to just stay in your basic thread pose, that is a-okay. Again, repositioning your body to feel good. Listening to your body. Again, my voice is just a guide. Taking our left hand and pushing our bodies up off the mat. Taking our right hand and pushing it on the mat. We'll find ourselves back into a table pose. What we're going to do next is we're going to go back into our knee to elbow tap prep pose. Prepping our bodies for headstand. Okay? So whenever you are ready, let's find ourselves back in a basic hard pose, and then we're going to straighten our legs out, come up slightly on our feet, our tippy toes, and find ourselves in a standing hard pose or a complete forward fold / hard pose. So let's give it a try again and see how we do. Hands flat on the floor. We are in our hard pose now. Once you feel comfortable in your hard pose, we're going to come completely up
using our feet, the tippy toes, to allow our bodies to come all the way up. Kind of similar to a downward facing dog when we come up on a downward facing dog. Here we go. Let's give it a try.
Positioning yourself to feel comfortable, whatever you need to do. And we're going to do some more knee to elbow taps. See that? Knee to elbow taps. And this time, when we're doing our knee to elbow tap, may we hold it. Right knee to right elbow. Hold it. Maybe putting your knee slightly on your elbow. Maybe pointing your right foot towards your buttocks, if you can. Feeling that flex. Releasing. Doing the same thing with your opposite leg. Left knee up to the elbow. Sitting on the elbow. Flexing the foot. Maybe coming up on your right tippy toe if you're able. And simply feeling your body in this position. You are already in a headstand. This is your headstand. You just have both legs on the floor. Or in my case, and maybe your case, you have one leg on the floor and one leg on your knee or on your elbow. Let's take that knee off our elbow. Now we have both legs on the floor. Keeping our tummy nice and tight. Positioning our head, making sure we feel comfortable. Always repositioning ourselves for our comfort. And maybe we'll give it a try if we can. Right knee to right elbow. As we use our left foot to slowly walk our body up. See that there? Just moving your foot as much as you need to come closer to your elbow. So we got one leg up on our elbow. And we have our other foot. We're walking it close to our elbow. See that? Maybe slightly bend our knee. Slightly bend our knee. And if you choose, voila. Bring both feet up off the floor. And this is a headstand. Making sure that we breathe in and breathe out in our headstand. And if you choose to go fancy, you can take one leg and slightly bring it up. Pointing your feet if you choose. Breathing in and breathing out. And you can play with it as much as you choose. Come on back down. Both knees are on your elbow. Resting your body as we come out of this headstand pose. Nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, out. Back to our toes. Hands to the side. Woo. Positioning yourself. Hands to my side. Positioning myself. Seeing how I feel before I find myself back down to a basic hard pose. And before I find myself back in a child's pose. Nice and easy. If you guys were able to do that, you rock. You are amazing. But let's try something else. You guys know we can do a forward fold. Here we have it. Got our forward fold right here. Well, this is actually a half forward fold. See, our back's kind of straight, looking forward. This is a forward fold, half forward fold. This will be a complete forward fold, going all the way down, hands touching the ground, or hands going down as much as you can in our complete forward fold. And we allow our head to fall completely down, kind of like in a ragdoll pose. Nice and easy. Maybe we'll touch our elbows to elbow with our hands. Complete forward fold, half forward fold. Complete forward fold, half forward fold. And I'm going to turn to the front and we're going to do our wide-legged
stretch. See that there? A wide-legged stretch also prepares the mind and the body for a headstand pose, because see, we're basically low to the ground, and we're kind of halfway in a position when we're going to do this. See that there? So a wide-legged stretch pose is pretty good, and it also allows us to loosen up our hips. See that there? Especially if you rock from side to side. Give it a try. See how you feel within your body. Let's go. Side to side, wide-legged forward fold. Here we go. As we come to still. Hands on the ground if you choose, back straight, looking forward. Nice and easy. Or if you want to go deeper, maybe we'll do a wide-legged forward fold / ragdoll. Feeling the stretch even more. If you can see and feel how that pose makes you feel, it's actually strengthening and stretching your body, and it's preparing you, if you can see and feel it, for a forward fold / headstand prep. So it's preparing you for a headstand, shall I say. Because let's give it another try. Wide-legged forward fold, hands on the floor, straight back, and we're going to go into ragdoll. We're going to keep our legs wide-legged, and we're going to allow our heads to completely fall over as we touch our elbows with opposite hands. Here we go. How does that feel? Now, when we are in our wide-legged forward fold, we can come slightly forward if we choose. Slightly forward if we choose. And kind of like lean our body inward. And we can allow our head to fall to the ground. And this is a next step from ragdoll, because remember, in ragdoll we did this. And we felt comfortable, and we allowed our body to completely relax in ragdoll. So what we're doing now is we're slightly bringing our hands slightly forward in our wide-legged forward fold, and we're going to allow the top of our head once again to touch the mat. Let's see how we do, and maybe we can get our legs off the floor. Let's give it a try, but we don't have to. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's go downward nice and slow, listening to our bodies. See that there? And before you go up, maybe we can do the ballerina headstand prep pose. You know how we're on our feet, and then we come up to our tippy toes like the ballerina. Then we come on back down. See that? Then we come on back up. Maybe we can do that a couple times when we are on our head, just to see how we feel. And we don't even have to come off the mat. We could just do the tippy toe. Let's give it a try.
Nice and easy. Doing what you can. Okay, let's come on out.
Time is, it's already 7:42, so we actually already did our 40 minutes of headstand prep. But let's go just a little bit deeper, if you guys don't mind that we go over just a little bit. We're gonna practice one more headstand. Now, with this headstand, I advise people to get a big pillow like this, just in case you flip over. The tripod headstand, sometimes it's a little bit more easier because you're up on your forearms, you're up on your elbows. You're up on your elbows, so it kind of makes that easier. But we're gonna try another headstand. And if you have a big pillow or have a couple of sofa pillows, you know, if you're watching this on video on demand, Maybe you can push pause, go get some pillows, and lay the pillows in front of you. That way, if you flip over, you have a nice, soft foundation to fall on. How about that? Okay, so we're gonna do the headstand when we're like this. So we want to interlace our fingers. Let's see. See that there? Interlacing our fingers because it's gonna be at the top of our heads. So interlacing our fingers. We're gonna do this headstand now. So let's prep our bodies and prep our minds. Now let's see what we can do. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, so headstand, I'm going down. I'm coming down on my head, but I'm gonna use my hands to hold me up this time.
Coming up, positioning my body, making sure I feel comfortable. See that there? We find ourselves back in that wide-legged forward fold. See that there?
We found ourselves back in that wide-legged forward fold. See how that works?
Just like that.
It's all connected, just like we are all connected. It is all connected. Okay, we are running out of time, so we're gonna find ourselves back in our, maybe we'll do a couple cat cows real quick, just to relax our body.
Cat pose, back up in the air, head slightly down.
Next breath up to cow. Oh, feeling that back bend, feeling it sunken back as we look slightly up in the air. Nice and easy. Coming back down to cat on our next breath. Coming back to cow. Nice and easy. One more cat cow. Here we go. Cat.
Next breath, cow.
Next breath, tabletop. Let's center ourselves right here. Here we go. Yes. If we'll take our right leg and cross it in front of us and find ourselves in a cow face pose. Nice and easy. Checking in. And come up closer so you guys can see me and hear me better. Here we go. So we're sitting here in our cow face. Maybe we'll slowly bring our hands up in the air in a seated salute. Cow face salute. Nice and easy. Stretching our bodies to the back. Chest goes forward. Feeling the stretch in our chest, in our back, and our upper bodies. Hands back up, seated salute. Slowly down to seated prayer. Maybe we'll take our right hand and put it behind us, right behind our buttocks, and feel the spinal twist. Taking our left hand and slightly bringing it closer to our ankles if we choose, to help us spin our bodies around as we slightly look over our right shoulder. Nice and easy. Slowly turning back to center. Taking the right hand and placing the right hand closer to maybe the left buttocks or leg, wherever you can get it to, and taking your left hand and bringing it behind your back close to your buttocks as we slightly look over our left shoulder, feeling the spinal twist as we look over our left shoulder. Nice and easy. As we slowly come back to center, nice and easy, going into our cow face, lifting our right arm up in the air and taking our left hand and bringing it to the back and connecting our hands if we can and finding ourselves in cow face pose. See that there? Hands are connected, hands are interlaced. If you can, interlace them, shall I say. You don't have to. Do what your body allows you to do and do what you are able to do. I'm going to turn back forward as you play with your cow face in any way you choose. Now we can sit like this and take our hand like this and use our opposite hand and push it to the back. This is kind of a cow face prep pose. See that there? Because our hands can't interlace in some cases. So we are prepping our bodies by taking our hand, pushing our shoulders backwards. See that there? To allow ourselves to eventually be able to go deep enough to interlace our hands. And what we do next is we'll just simply switch this hand up, this hand back. I'm sorry, I'm about to do the cow face. And then we're going to stretch this side. See that there? So now we got the right hand stretching back the left elbow. Simply prepping our bodies for full cow face. And again, you switch. Left hand now is pushing back the right elbow. See that there? And you want to hold it and slightly push it back without causing any pain. And then switch again. Right hand is now pushing back the left elbow. See that there? So we just did an extra prep pose. Hey, bonuses are always fun. See that there? And now let's go to our complete cow face for those who are able to interlace the fingers behind your back. Nice and easy. Breathing in and breathing out, relaxing the body. You'll find when we breathe in and breathe out nice, deep, intentional breaths, that is, our body tends to relax more and we find ourselves able to go deeper in any stretch that we do. On our next breath, let's breathe our way out of here. Nice and easy, breathing our way out. Palms together, seated prayer as we slightly lean forward over our legs. And maybe we'll allow our hands to walk slightly to the front. Nice and easy. As we allow our face, our head, our just body to fall forward and feel relaxed as we conclude our session. Nice and easy, falling forward over our leg as much as we can. As we slowly come out, pushing ourselves back with our hands as we walk our hands back. Slightly coming out of this cow face pose, and maybe we'll just sit in regular seated prayer or whatever seated position you feel comfortable. This practice is about you. Again, I am just a guide making suggestions. I'm going to sit in this position here. This leg is slightly up in the air, and I want to feel a little bit of the deeper stretch. So I'm going to lean towards my left leg. Again, I'm sitting with my left leg, foot is more above, as you can see, lotus seat. The left foot is above. I'm going to lean forward, lean towards that left leg, and allow my body to relax down. And then I'm going to walk myself to center. Checking in, seeing how I feel. And if all feels well, I'm going to walk myself back. See that there? Nice and easy, pushing myself up as I walk myself back. Now I'm going to switch my leg position, and I'm going to now have my right leg up higher. My left leg is now down. See that there? Sitting in my lotus seat. You may see that one side of your body doesn't work exactly like the opposite side. That is a-okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lean towards my right side of my body and feel the stretch air. Nice and easy, as much as I can and as much as you can. Nice and easy. And then I'm slowly going to walk and twist my body back to center. Nice and easy. Back in center. As I walk my hands back and push my hands up. Nice and easy. Finding myself back in a seated position. Breathing in and breathing out. Finding my comfort level as you find your comfort level as we close out this session. I hope that we are able to use some of these headstand prep poses to strengthen our bodies and strengthen our minds to get us into headstand. And again, there are many different types of headstands. Today we just went over a couple. And eventually, may we be able to allow our legs to go straight up in the air. And then maybe we can work on handstand prep. That way we're up in the air on our hands, not on our head. But those are future classes, and we will definitely do those in the near future. But we want to first do the headstand prep first. Some people can actually do the handstand before they can do the headstand. Again, I repeat, some people can actually do the handstand before they can do the headstand. So again, to each their own. So maybe we will do a handstand prep tutorial next. We'll see. Peace and blessings. Let's go inward. May we sit in peace. And once again, may we thank ourselves for allowing ourselves to take the time to learn something new, taking the time to advance our mind and our bodies to do something different, learning something new, growing. Self-care is a necessity. And may we always find time for self-care. For we must be okay if we are going to try to help another be okay. Self-care is first. For we cannot pour from an empty cup. I repeat, we cannot pour from an empty cup. If we don't have anything to pour, to drink, how can we serve another? We simply cannot. Self-care is a must. Take care of yourself. Do for others. May we bring our hands to a seated prayer. Nice and easy. Palms together at heart center. Nice and easy. Breathing in deep, intentional breaths. Relaxing our mind, relaxing our body. Deep, intentional breaths. Going inward. Relaxing. Going inward. Calming with the breath. Calming with the breath. Relaxing with the breath. The light in me sees, respects, and honors the light in you. I thank you so much for joining me today. and I hope to meet you on the mat at my next session. Peace and blessings, and namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, and I hope I see you on the mat at another time. It was a pleasure. Thank you. This is Sister Moon. I invite you to now lay down in Savasana, simply relaxing and calming your body down from this session. Nice and easy. Laying on our backs, maybe closing our eyes if we choose, and simply feeling one with our bodies. Peace and blessings. Namaste. It's time to relax in Savasana, aka rest pose. Here we go.